Hey guys, just wanted to redo my film. I've done this 4 times already with this gasifier. Got my lights in the shop finally, so I'm able to do some filming in here just using a flashlight. Anyhow, without further ado, let me show you the very basic, as simple as I could come up with, gasifier build. And what this is just a popcorn tin and a little compression fitting to a 3/8 copper line. These 3/8 copper lines are pretty cheap. I bent it around a piece of pipe into a coil, and what you got is you fill the can up full of wood, put your lid on, and that end is going to go into a campfire or barbecue pit or whatever you got, heat source, to heat this up beyond a normal wood burning temperature. Because it's oxygen deprived, it's not going to catch on fire in here. What it's going to do is it's going to release all the wood gas from the wood and the biomass inside this container. And that gas is going to travel through the copper tube. Now what you want to do now, this is going to be in the fire, and you got this straight piece here. You're going to put a separation here from the fire. So you don't want the coil end to be in the fire. This needs to stay cool, and the way you do that is you put you a brick in between here or something, a pile of dirt, whatever you got. That's going to hold that, and you're going to put a bowl of water under this thing, under the coil. That's going to recondense all the steam and the tar and everything else, the byproducts that you don't want, and also it'll condense the wood gas into just a higher density gas, so that way it is a better fuel. So anyway, so a bowl of water under this end, brick right here separating the hot part from the cool part. The time the gas comes out at the end of this, it's just going to be barely warm. You don't need metal anymore at this point. You could use a rubber hose, just clamp it on the end of this. It is going to have all those products in it though that are going to be sputtering out of this. So what you want to do now is you're going to have some kind of a clean out jar, filter, medium. I would recommend water, because water will first of all condense the steam into water very quickly upon contact, and also it'll solidify the tar, and all of it will sit in the bottom. So I'm using a pickle jar, no big deal, easy to come by. You just put your 2 fittings in the top of it, whatever you can come up with. Again, this is something I've come up with here. You need some kind of a hose. It's going to go on one of these down to the bottom of the pickle jar. The other one's just going to come out of the top. You put that in there. You're going to put, see where your hose is at down at the bottom. You're going to put water in here, probably about, maybe halfway. Okay, where it's going to cover this hose up completely. And keep in mind, this is going to fill up with material, with water and tar. So you're probably just going to want to just fill over the top of the hose. It's not going to be sitting straight like this though. It's going to be inside this guy. So I happen to bent this down to where it fits pretty tight on this pickle jar thing, so that kind of holds it together. And what you do now is you rotate this till your tube is at the bottom of the whole thing. So remember, this is going to be your separation block or whatever you're going to have, and it's going to be in the fire, and it's going to be in a bowl of water, and you're going to have water in your jar, but just need enough to fill that over that tube. That way it's bubbling up through the water. Now that's going to clean up most of the bad stuff. The stuff that's really going to destroy your engine is going to be mostly filtered out at this point. You could run this, if need be, you could go ahead and run this on the short pipe that just comes out of the lid. That's going to be your output now. because you're going to want to hook up a piece of rubber hose from your copper over to this line that goes with the tube to the bottom of the jar. So that's going to finish that. And then from out of here, it's going to be your output to your engine if you want. On a generator, I would not recommend running this long term on a generator. You might get by with a day or two, and then you're going to have issues because there will still be a little bit of smoke in this gas. So to clean that up even further, like for instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store it. You know, I'm going to compress it and store it in tanks like propane. So I'm going to run this through into another one of these guys filled full of sawdust. And that's going to take out all the moisture, and it's going to filter out all the rest of the contaminants in the gas. Because whatever's left in that gas is going to have to go through all that sawdust to travel through a big can like this from one end to the other. I'm going to put another valve fitting on the other end, or a hose barb fitting. And so then once it comes out there, it'll be completely clean. It'll be colorless, and you won't even be able to see it if it's coming out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But this is the basic build. I mean, you can use this here, and you could compress this. You could store this, and it'll have a little soot. But that, if you leave it in the tank a long time, it'll eventually settle to the bottom. So, I mean, that's another idea too. But basic build, cheap parts, something I think that almost anybody could do. That has a drill and the patience. But that's a basic wood gasifier right there. You don't have to get real fancy, buy a book, and have a welder and all that other stuff. It's not needed. This is a very basic science here. It's kind of like, if you took this out, okay, what does that look like to you? Does that look just like something you'd make moonshine with? Yeah, I mean, it's a real basic stuff here. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Good luck if y'all plan on building that. I will put out another video about the compression side of it and storage side of it. That'll be coming up real soon. Well, y'all have a good one.